In today's video, I'm going to show you a super easy and affordable way to cut EMT conduit. Stay tuned. EMT conduit is an off-the-shelf building material that you can find in the electrical aisle of your local hardware store. Normally, EMT conduit is used in commercial applications to protect wires, but because it's so affordable and strong, we like to use it for DIY projects. If you combine EMT conduit and maker pipe connectors, you can build some pretty amazing things. One of the first steps to any projects is cutting the pipes to the size that you need. There are quite a few ways that you can do this with saws and other things, but by far the easiest and most approachable way to cut EMT conduit is with this simple pipe and tube cutter. It's a great value because it not only gives you a clean cut all the way around the pipe, but it also has a built-in feature that allows you to deburr the ends of the pipe after making your cuts. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to use this pipe and tube cutter and the deburring feature, along with some common pitfalls that you really want to avoid when using this great tool. You can find this tool on our website or locally in the plumbing aisle of a home improvement store. You'll see quite a few different brands, but we really like this one from Brasscraft. It works perfectly to cut 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch, and 1 inch EMT conduit, which are the three sizes that work with the current lineup of maker pipe fittings. This tool is also really versatile because it can be used with copper, brass, aluminum, and even PVC pipes, as long as the diameter is between 1/8 inch and 1 1/8 inch. When you're ready to make your cut, you'll want to use a Sharpie or a dry erase marker to mark the desired measurement on the pipe. Then you'll loosen this knob until there's a big enough gap to fit the conduit inside. When putting the conduit inside the cutter, you want to make sure that it's resting on these two rollers here and not up against the back of the cutter. Then you'll just tighten this knob until the cutter wheel is lined up with the mark you made. A common mistake that people make on this step is over-tightening this knob here, which causes the conduit to pop out of the rollers when you start cutting it. This will not only cause your cuts to be off, but it'll also damage your cutter wheel. Once you have the cutter wheel aligned and the knob tightened just a little bit, you'll want to rotate the cutter around the pipe a few turns. You can do what I'm doing and hold the conduit in one hand and the cutter in the other, but it's also helpful if you have a vise or a hand clamp that can hold the conduit while you spin the cutter around. You can also use Javier's clever trick where you actually secure conduit to the build and then make your cuts. If you don't have access to a vise or a clamp, you could always just wear some gloves, or another cool trick from Jay is to actually secure a T-connector to the pipe you're cutting and use it as a makeshift handle to hold while you spin the cutter around. Whether you're using a vise or your bare hands, the process is the same. All you have to do is rotate the cutter around and tighten this knob just a little bit every so often until you finish the cut all the way through the pipe. Tradesmen like to stop about 90% of the way through the pipe and then snap the two pieces of conduit apart. This will keep your cutter wheel sharp and extend the life of the tool. After your cut is complete, you'll notice a little bit of a lip that formed inside the end of the conduit where you made the cut. You don't have to remove this unless you're planning on adding threaded inserts or some kind of accessory into the pipe. However, if you need to or just want to remove it, it's really easy to do. On the back of the cutter tool is a little hidden piece that slides out. And you may not have seen this before, or you did and didn't know what it was used for, but it's actually made so you can deburr the conduit end and get rid of that lip. You'll just take this piece and insert it into the end of the conduit and begin spinning it around. After a little bit of time and grinding, you'll notice that the inside of the conduit begins to smooth out. If you're working on a small project that only requires a few cuts, or a big project that you want to save some money on, this tool is approachable and easy to use, which is why we love recommending it. There are some other cutting tools, and most of which involve using power, and they don't necessarily make the job easier, but they do save some time when building. We did a review of a portable bandsaw that we really love to use on those builds that we want to make some quick cuts, and you can watch that video here. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.